right, let's jump in. Obviously, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 3-1 are a division leader, and there's a lot of significance to their games that are going on right now. What do you make of Baker Mayfield's comments that Tom Brady responded to during the broadcast that Baker said were taken out of context, just so everyone understands? He said during the week, knowing that Brady was going to be in the booth for Fox on a podcast, mentioning that Brady's presence stressed a quote-unquote high-strung environment that he was brought into, quote-unquote, bring the joy back to football for guys who weren't having as much fun. What did you make of that? He said those were taken out of context.
Yeah, I think so. And when I was watching, I was like, ugh. I heard how quiet it got during the live broadcast. I said, yeah, Brady don't like that. And I think he took it as a slight, more as there's different ways to lead. Baker's leads differently. Tom has come from a more serious environment, and that's kind of how he's always been. That's just how he prepared. And I don't think guys didn't have fun with Tom, but I think Baker's way of leading is a lot more upbeat, a lot more fun, tell jokes, have handshakes, all of that style. And I think some guys may have been intimidated by Tom, because when you've been around a guy like for example, when Darrelle Revis walked out during 2013, I was intimidated because it was Darrelle Revis. I had already made 2 Pro Bowls, I had made my first Pro Bowl, but then in comes Darrelle Revis, and it's like, well, this is a different level of player here. So you can be intimidated by a Darrelle Revis. Imagine a Tom Brady being there. You don't want to make no mistakes. You want to be on point at all times. Well, Baker is more like, okay, I can be a little more relaxed. He's a great leader, but Tom is like Tom. Like, you can argue he's the greatest athlete of any sport ever. He's in that argument. So I think that it was taking more of a slight at Tom of, it wasn't fun while he was here, and I don't think that's what he meant.
I'll be honest. I mean, I was around the team in Munich and Tom's last year there. It didn't look like anybody was having fun at all. Yeah. I mean, at all. But then which is why all of us thought, well, Seattle's going to go kick their behinds. They played their best game of the year. Yeah. And so there's a certain sensibility you have when there's a GOAT, when it's either the ring or nothing. Yeah. That might stress people out. I get it.
I've heard what it's like being at the Patriots with Coach Belichick. Right. It's really just like they win, but it's like it's like this.
Isn't that what the Eagles? Didn't the Eagles talk about during that Super Bowl week that they're having fun, and the Patriots are not? Yeah, because of that's the environment. Maybe this is kind of another version of that.
It could be. I remember my last year at OU, we played Stanford, and we did, for some reason, I don't know why they did this, we had a joint dinner where we sat on one side and they sat on the other side. It was this little small. It was like, we don't want to see them before the game, but they did it. We were in sweats and OU gear and just Crocs and stuff. They came in ties, suits, and all that. We was like laughing, like, oh, we having a blast. Like, y'all so serious. We ended up winning the game. But it was just like, even Richard Sherman, he'd tell you, we was like, man, everything was so like this. And I think it's just different versions of leadership of how the leader goes, that's how the team goes.
So Richard was dressed in a suit?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
And you were dressed in sweats and Crocs?
I was just dressed in a sweat and Crocs. Yes, I was. Yeah. And we was laughing at him like, why y'all dressed like that? This is like a bowl game dinner. We was at the Brute Sun Bowl. Why y'all in suits? Like, what are y'all doing right now?
An El Paso dinner?
An El Paso dinner. Yes, it was.
Man, some of the bowl games is let's get all the kids together for dinner.
The Brute Sun Bowl, and everybody's like, "What's Brute?" I'm like, "Trust me, you don't want it. You don't want it. You're 18. Don't ask for any Brute."
Yeah. Gerald McCoy here on the Rich Eisen Show. So what did you glean from the Bucs Eagles game? Because Eagles fans are ready to go, find the the Ben Franklin Bridge and jump off it right now. Yeah. What do you think?
Well, one, I think I just ran up against a team who was better. Yes, I'm saying that because I believe it. But also, making adjustments when your top 2 receivers are not there, that's tough to deal with.
I guess it's not fair when one guy's got Evans and Godwin and you don't have Brown and Smith.
Take a deep breath. Okay. You relax. It's the September. I remember, and I always say this, the reason how I come up with a lot of my analysis and things I've seen is because I've seen so much. I've seen a Denver Broncos tell Peyton Manning, it's okay, you can go. We appreciate. I mean, Indianapolis Colts tell Peyton Manning you can go, and he went to the Broncos. That schooled me on this is a true business. If you can let Peyton Manning walk, and we prepare for the future, then I watched it happen with the Patriots and Tom Brady. That schooled my mind on business sense. In I can't remember the date, 14, 15-ish, the Atlanta Falcons started 5-0. It was like, man, the Falcons are going to be, and then I think they ended up 6-10, maybe 7-9 or something like that. It's a long season, and you don't really know who's who until about week 9-ish. So it's time. There is time to get back on track. So Philadelphia faithful, relax, take a deep breath.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.